all the descriptions. They love that piece. And we're going to start recording now. Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. This is Wealth Principle 35. Create an awesome team around you. And we have been journeying through the 52 weeks for the last 35 together. So if you are on this journey to build more wealth as a real estate investor and business owner, you are in the right place. And if you are here just to hang out with awesome people, then you've also found the right place. If you want great knowledge, hell yeah. So one of the biggest problems that people have, and I had when I started, was that I wanted to grow. I wanted to expand. And yet I had a simple issue. I didn't know how. I was sold the dream of work hard. Who's been told that work hard will work? Who's been told you got to work hard if you want to get rich? I was told that that was the strategy. If you work harder, if you put in the work, if you do the right work and work harder and harder and harder and harder, that only works until you run out of time and hours and effort and you die. So that strategy, I think that work hard will get you to a certain level of income. Who saw the Facebook post that I made the other day? Relatively controversial. I've got a lot of posts on TikTok who hate it. They're like, no, that's not true. You know, hard work is much better. False. Like, yes, hard work is non-negotiable. It must exist. If you're going to work, do it right, right? Be intelligent, be effective, be strong in what you're doing so that people can see what you're capable of. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to, it alone is just hard work. It's just effort. It's potential for capacity. So think of hard work as a battery. If you have a really powerful battery, like they put in the Teslas, it can go and be used for a car. It can explode, right? It could be used to shock somebody. So the battery itself is your capacity for hard work. And then what tool you put it into is the effect you're going to get. Now you put it into a Tesla or one of those robots, you're going to have some really cool effects. Hands to the camera if you think it'd be really cool to drive a Tesla, like just the feeling of it, the AI, it's driving itself. And then what if you put it into one of those static electricity machines and all you get is like lightning bolts shooting out of it? The effect is very different, right? It's just raw power being used. That's what hard work is like. And that's the difference between hard work and intelligent work. But the intelligent work is first vision, like Terry was talking about. We're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry. At the 100 Millionaire Summit, we're going to talk about your vision. Who here has had issues with clarity around their vision? You've been building a business, but you had some issues with clarity. This is an entrepreneur's, like, it's the devil, it's the demon. And Dorina, can you keep an eye on the participants in the waiting room? I want to make sure we're pulling everybody in. So clarity is one of the biggest hurdles that we all face. There is so much that you could do when you know what you're doing. And without it, nothing happens. It's just hard work. Again, it's the effort is put in. And your income level will stop at those levels. I'm actually going to share my screen really quickly because I think that this is interesting for anybody who didn't see this post. So ignore all the other stuff, but take a look right here. You see where it says yearly income skills. Here's work ethic. Now, every one of these skills does not go away at the next level. It's required to bring along to the next level. The idea with this chart is that work ethic is all you need to maintain a $25,000 a year job. Anywhere in the world, all you need is work ethic. Now, to get to a $50,000 a year job, this is the corporate world. This is beginning. This can be a lot of contractors make it. It's just responsibility. You need to know what you're doing a little bit and show up to things that you have to do, like, show up, clock in, and have a little bit more responsibility, right? I've found that in the world, they pay you for being responsible. There's just a little bit more of a pay than hard work. And then there's specialization, right? This is kind of where people start thinking they're doing okay in this country because the average income is $50,000. And so people get to 75,000, they got a little specialized. Maybe they went to college, maybe they went to a trade. And even I know guys who flip 2 houses a year and are happy making $75,000 a year. They flip one house and that's all they make for the year. And that's perfectly fine because they've specialized, they're responsible, and they're doing work. They got hard work going. But sales and negotiations, how you get to that next level. And by the way, sales and negotiations can get you from 100 to 250 single by yourself. Like, that's absolutely true. But that only kind of ties in and stays when you've got business acumen. Like these are levels that you've got to level up in. You in order to get these incomes, you've got to keep all of these. Where hard work never goes away, right? But it's more intelligent work. It's done the right way. And then to get to the $500,000 part, this is cash flow, $500,000 income, because the net worth is significantly easier. Net worth is simple. Net worth, ladies and gentlemen, you guys ready for this? Is you just buy stuff that goes up in value over time and buy it in a leveraged manner so you can buy more and your net worth goes up. This is why real estate is the main focus. So I want to know, by raise of hands, you understand how net worth works? Yes, buy assets that go up in value over the long term that pay for themselves. The simplest strategy on the planet, burst strategy. Buy, rent, renovate, refinance, repeat. I'm sorry, you gotta do the refinance before you rent it out in most cases. Although in some cases, like, you pick up a tenant, they're already in there. That strategy works perfectly fine. So you can buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. So you get your cash back. As a real estate investor, you want net worth and you want cash flow. You cash flow on the flipping side of your business, on the agency side of your business. You cash flow on the wholesaling side of your business. You cash flow on the contracting side of your business. Every one of you should have a main stream of income that is focused on income. And then everybody also requires a investment strategy that is focused on net worth. These are the two worlds that you live in. And if you can fire off right down the middle and build a symbiotic business that buys real estate and builds income, brings in cash flow, you are winning. Hands to the camera if that's what you would like to build. If you're still at the beginning, you haven't already built your business, yes. If you could think of something, that's the one. Do the easy one. Do the one that makes the most sense. We have contractors in our community. Contractors got the right business, right? You got to fix real estate no matter what. It's going to happen no matter what. So now you've got a business that fixes real estate, gets you into broken up houses, and gives you an opportunity to put in offers on people for people with a discount. So it's a great business. Real estate agents, again, same thing. You're in their house, you're prospecting, marketing all the time. Wholesalers, same thing. So having a business that is symbiotic, running in the same direction as investment is a phenomenal strategy. That's why we encourage it so strongly. And then you've got people like Melanie who are they're unicorns. They have another business that has been running that is just making a ton of cash for them, like the Subways. And that makes more sense to buy. That builds both her net worth and it builds her cash flow. This making sense? Yes? Excellent. So before we dive into this principle, I'd like to have Mike Shine introduce the book of the week. If Mike is not on the call, which other coach would like to introduce the book of the week? Who's read Traction? Hands to the camera if you read Traction. Excellent. Well, then, Julie Bradley, would you be interested in introducing Traction, the book of the week? She's scared, but she's going to do it. Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause.
I'm sorry. It's probably going to come out like a true C.
Perfect. This is a C's book.
It was great.
Well said.
So for anybody who doesn't know, the book Traction is, by the way, let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. She is a C. Yeah, I think she's got some decisiveness in there as well. So this book was written and designed by business owners, people who are sick and tired of struggling, people who are sick and tired of hitting that ceiling and not being able to get past it. And what they discovered was there's 6 steps to gaining traction. Traction is when a business finally gets it's like feet under its ground, the ground under its feet, and it's finally picking up and moving. Has anybody felt that their business was just kind of treading water? It's not like going anywhere. Has anybody in that experience? Traction is when you finally dig in and it's like you got some meat and you're moving quickly.
How to create your one-year plan.
It's a powerful strategy that you've got to get into, and there's 6 steps. And those 6 steps are: first, vision, like we were talking about earlier. People, you need to focus on getting your people into the right seats. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Focus on data, scorecards, the measurables. the issues, list of challenges. Most companies will ignore the issues and try to focus on just income, but the issues get bigger and bigger and they start eating them away. And then there's processes, documenting and following. This is how you scale. Most businesses will get to that ceiling we were talking about earlier. Most entrepreneurs, most investors, by the way, hands to the camera. If I'm just making this up, you can keep your hand down, but hands to the camera if you've ever experienced any of these, that ceiling where it's like, man, like what's going on? Where is the extra income? Where's that little piece of more? Why am I still doing all of the work? Processes and documentation are powerful for this. And then the actual traction part is the rocks. And this company talks very heavily, this book talks very heavily about meetings, the importance of meetings. And it's not just meet with people, it's meet with your players, meet with your mastermind, meet with the people who are going to go and take action for you, give you ideas and make results. Julie, are you ready? I saw your hand up. All right, go ahead, Julie. Give us a review on the book.
I at least want people to know when I say I listened to it, I did. And I actually printed out all of the great PDFs that come with the book too. And it helps you put your business in an organized fashion, starting with your core values, core focus, 10-year target, marketing strategy, 3-year picture. I mean, it goes through and it tells you how to put that information down. So your vision is clear in front of you. And then you can, grow the business from being organized.
Let's give
all the documents all printed from that book, and I'm working on it for my.
Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause.
Thank you.
Mike Shine has entered the building.
No way. Where is he?
He's right there.
I don't see him. Michael Shine. Do you have the book of the week with you, sir?
Traction.
One more version of the book of the week. Let's give it up for Mike Shine, the bookkeeper. Oh, actually, Julie Bradley is our bookkeeper. He's the keeper of the books. That only made sense. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, you guys both talked about it already, but I do want to say that I have a really good friend who is an architect, and he uses traction. He actually has a traction consultant, someone who has studied this book, and they hired him to come in and arrange his architectural firm. And when he started, there were only 5 architects working under him. Now he has, I think, 14 or 15. He does deals all over the world, actually. And what's interesting is he said that even if you don't have people to fill the positions, even if you have to label yourself as every one of the positions when you start, it's still better to label all the positions. And then as you give them away to more people, you take on less and less responsibility, but you still have. So if you think that this book is not for you because there's only one person in your business right now, that's wrong. So read Traction like Julie's doing, put the people in place, and then put the titles in place, and then as you get more people in your staff, then you can put them on. That's Traction, and you will gain traction. There you go.
Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause. The book of the week is Traction. And if you're with us on our journey through the 52 weeks, you're reading a book a week, this is your book this week. Get it on Audible. It makes it a lot easier to go through. But when they have a process like this, please stop and do the process. That's where the success is made, which, by the way, we're going to do a process this week. But before we jump into it, I want to say a special thanks to everybody who has joined the mentorship. I was telling you guys this morning, I am absolutely impressed with your success, with the fact you're buying real estate, with the fact you're in renovations. These are good things. The fact you're doing refinances on properties you acquired, and the fact you're selling your flips, that you're putting tenants into place. This is by far the most impactful and most rewarding thing I have ever done in my life. I've made millions in real estate, but teaching and training and it being inspired by you, everybody in this community is just, it's the most rewarding thing I've done. And I love those 20 minutes that I get to spend with you guys, just answering and talking about your successes. Elizabeth Miller, Patrick, and everybody who's done deals today, by the way, and mentioned to us. And for the ones who haven't shared, please drop a win of the week in the chat right now. If you're in the mentorship program and you had a win this week, let's drop it in the chat, old school style, just like you did in the mentorship. And let's give yourselves a round of applause for being here, for having that desire and that drive to get to the next level. I just wanted to say that. It's very special, those 20 minutes before the call that are exclusive to just you, to be able to have your cameras on and see your beautiful faces. I enjoy it. It's encouraging to see your success and your stories. And then also to build this business that we are building together. Each one of you is a part of it. As you build your net worth, as you build your cash flows, you build your lessons in your mind of what works and what doesn't work. You are a massive part of what's happening. Traction, the reason we're using it today, well, the reason it was decided for Wealth Principle 35 is because by the time you get here, you're making money and you're hitting ceilings. You're hitting problems. I was so pissed off in my real estate brokerage. I had 25 agents and I went and I lived in Vegas for 3 months to test the system to see if it worked. And what I discovered is I was missing some key elements. It wasn't the vision. I knew how big I wanted to go. I knew how I wanted to serve the world, but it was the actual people. I put the wrong ones in the seats. Hands to the camera, business owners, investors, if you ever hired the wrong person, wrong contractor, wrong property manager, wrong attorney, wrong agent, wrong lender. Yeah, we've all made these mistakes. So in our business, there are very specific seats. And if you put the wrong person in them, well, results may vary. And they're not always the results that you're looking for. And I made some mistakes in putting my leadership in place. Can you believe I put Ron Bowling, my business partner, my CS, as the team leader of our office, right? Hands to the camera if you recognize that's not what he ever wants to do ever in his life. No. So Ron avoided people, likes people. So if they had a major problem, he'd solve it. But he avoided people and he didn't have that rah, let's go have a party mentality, which salespeople need. So by the way, if you're running a sales team, and everybody in here should be running a sales team, if you're not doing events and parties to get them together and having group conversation with them, you're going to lose your team eventually. Hands to the camera if you know that's true. These salespeople are the best greatest salespeople on the planet. ID can be a great salesperson as well. Then there's the data. If you don't track what your people are doing, if you don't track and see what your company is doing, it will not do things eventually. What you track, you get more of. What you don't track disappears. So you've got to take a look at your sales. You've got to take a look at your product, your customer service. How is this process going? We're calling through and visiting everybody who's ever touched us in the community. I have 1,300 people that I've got to make phone calls to over the next 4 weeks because I've committed to do it in 4 weeks. And that is just reaching out and seeing, how are we serving you? Have we been impactful? What are your needs? What is coming up for you now? What can we create to make sure that you can keep moving forward and serving in a way that will expand not only our business, but their business, right? The mission to build 100 millionaires is an intense mission. It only starts with the first 100. And then it continues on to building the next 100 and the next 100. So 100 millionaires is a goal to build. It started off as 3 to 5 years. Now it's a goal to build them in a year, and then it'll be a month, and then it'll be in a week. Can we attract enough future millionaires? Can we expand them? It's the same with making $1 million. Who here has the goal to make $1 million in the next 3 to 5 years? Excellent. Who here knows they could do it faster? Smart, very smart. And as you keep going, eventually you start thinking, I want to do it in a quarter. I want to do it in a month. I want to do it in a week. And some of us may attain doing it in an hour, doing it in a day. Hands to the camera if you think that would be cool. If it's something worth aiming for. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? It's not going to hurt anybody. I assure you, if you make money, it means you served people. That's it. All you did was help more people. Oh my God, the world's going to be a better place thanks to you. It's a good thing. And then there's the issues. This is one that's very easy to ignore. And I know Ron and I have both suffered from this in our business. And I've seen multiple people in our community, outside of our community, fail to look at the issues. This is why in our mastermind, And this is why at the Millionaire Summit in Orlando, we will be looking at the issues. We'll be looking at vision. As we're building the business plan, we're going to be looking at the people. Who are the right people for your business to scale? We're going to be looking at the data. How do you get the data? What is the right data to be looking at? And we're going to be looking at the issues. How to evaluate the issues, because the issues are just opportunities. They're just challenges, just things for you to go through that you can be better with. And then we're going to talk about processes, how to document, which processes to document. One of the questions I think entrepreneurs have is, should I document this? Or like, will I be keeping this myself? Who's thought like what part of this am I keeping? Has anybody ever thought like, okay, I got to automate some stuff, but I'm going to keep some of this? Hands to the camera if you've thought that. I just want to be very clear. And if you could come a little closer as I say this, just a little closer. Come on. Don't be afraid. Just come closer. You're wrong. We're not keeping shit except for the cash flow. That's all we want is the ownership. Remember names on deeds? Remember that when I was driving down the road and I was looking to the left and I was looking to the right, and I just kind of come to this awareness. I owned a piece of real estate and I was thinking, man, like, look at that house is worth $250,000. Now this house is worth $500,000, $500,000. My God, there's 10 million on the right side, 10 million on the left side. The next block, 10 million on the left side, 10 million on the right side. And I'm driving through, I'm thinking the only thing that's different from me and from that person is that their name is on the deed and my name is going to be. I just haven't gotten it there yet. But the point in real estate is to get your name on deeds. The point in business is to get your name on the title of the business. Your name has to own. That's the goal. Money is made from ownership. And that is it. We talk about adding value. Something has to add value for sure. Someone has to add value. Absolutely. It better be your building and your property manager. Does that make sense? Somebody had better be hardworking. Somebody had better be working hard. But if you want to be successful, the only hard work you are supposed to be doing is ownership. Get your name on a deed. Get your name on a title. Get your name on some paper, my friends. Get your name on something. That's where the money is made. The money only flows. It can only flow to the person who owns the business, the assets, the real estate, the investments. And we're talking about cash flowing stuff, not talking about stocks. I'm not talking about crypto right now, although that also works, right? Some of the dividend yielding companies. Put your name on it, right? Buy the stock. Boom, yours, right? Goes up forever or down forever. It depends on the company. And then the last piece is traction, the big rocks. These are the rocks that matter the most, the meetings. When you are putting your name on property, when you're putting your name on a business, when you're acquiring, you're becoming the owner, the only thing that matters is the conversation you have with the next person who has something that you want. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? What are they looking for? When you're in sales, what are you looking for? When we're building this training company, what is stopping you? What is stopping you from getting to what you're looking for? I find the pain point and then I solve the pain point, right? A lot of people have had the issue of sales and negotiation. So hypnosis. People have had the issue of procrastination. So I think hypnosis. And then we have the issue of people moving forward to doing actions. I think, okay, we need a process. We need NLP. We need business skills. We need sales skills. We bring the generator in. We bring generator coaching in. Let's get Terry in there and solve the problem. Sometimes they need a very specific, unique real estate strategy. That's the times where I will have a conversation with you. When the strategy is so complex, and my coaching is expensive. I want to be very clear. I do that intentionally. It's so that my life doesn't get overwhelmed with, 100 coaching students. It's extremely expensive for a reason. I take 3 people on every year. And those 3 people, I have a fucking blast helping. These are the players. These are the people who have massive goals. They've got the work ethic down. They've got the loyalty down. They've got the leadership skills down. They've got the management skills down, the business acumen, and we're getting to the next level, right? So I handle that high level person who is looking to make 5 million, who's looking to make 10 million, who's looking to make their first or second million, right? But they're really doing it. Like they're really on the path. They're not in year 1. They're in year 3. They're in year 4. Does that make sense? Like if you have the ability to only a limited resource, who do you want to work with the people who can do the most, right? If you have a limited, like you have, we in our community, we have over 150 people who have gone through the mentorship. If I was going to choose somebody to work with, I'm going to choose the person I think can do the most damage. Does that make sense? They also have the most money to do, like, so I can leverage more, so I can get a better return on investment for them. If I charge somebody 25,000 a year, or 50,000 a year, or 100,000 a year, then I had better at least 10x that money. Hence the camera, if you commit, if you ever coach somebody in your business, if they pay you, you should be able to 10x that. Absolutely. That's what I did with agency. Yeah, I bought a piece of real estate with you. I helped you buy a piece of real estate. You know, maybe you pay me a commish, a little 10,000, 15,000 commish, but then your net worth went up an additional 100,000 or 150,000. And some of my past clients, their net worth went up $500,000 or $1 million in 2 years because we bought quite a bit. What I discovered is the clients that buy more spend more time with. Meetings. These are the rocks, man. Like, these are the conversations that have to happen. The person who brings us all of our deals, right? Our deals are coming from relationships that we have. They're coming from wholesalers. I'm going to do more of those relationships. Does that make sense? That's why I personally am teaching Monday nights, right? Because the wholesalers are out there working for me. They're building me what I want. They're bringing me deals so I can put my names on those deeds. We're going to do an exercise really quickly. And this exercise is so important for your success this week. Forever, but it starts with this week, because this week's where we're building the habit. I want you to write down very, very short. This is 1 or 2 words, your goal. Simple. This 5-year goal, 3-year goal, 1 or 2 words. Simple. I know for Mike, it's massive income. He's like, shit, I can't fit passive in there. I'm not doing it. So for Mike, it's actually passive income. So Mike, you're allowed 4 words. Anybody on here is allowed 4 words, right? But be very specific about it. Those 4 words, be very specific about it. So like for me, we could say it's X amount of cash flow. That is a good financial goal. Now, people, so for me, 10 years, I know I want to be a billionaire, 10 years. And it's not about the money. It's just about saying I built something that helps that many people. Like, that's just a scorecard. The money is just a scorecard. Now, people, identify at least 3 positions in your company, but I guarantee you got close to probably 30, 40. But identify 3 main roles. It could be acquisitions, deals. It could be capital raising, money, and it could be management, labor. Deals, money, labor. Every business is split up into some form of marketing and sales, processing, and then documentation. You know, actually, it's documentation and then the work side of it. So write that down. Those 3 seats do need to be filled. Right now, you're filling them. In some cases, some of you already have hired out somebody like Julie Bradley to handle the books. So you got the kind of process side taken care of. Or like we've done with Mike Shine. He's our attorney. He signs the documents. He gets everything put in place. So we know. I didn't even go to my closing this week. I closed the house. I made $200,000 income back into my pocket, and I didn't leave the state of Florida. Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause for taking care of me. I appreciate it. Mike Shine, my dad, who handled the listing, Dave Pereira, who handled the lending, and Jonathan Mello, who handled all the renovations on the property, just the clean outs and fixing things. And then Becky Rosen, who managed property management for the last 3 years. Amazing team. I'm here in Florida while they're back in Massachusetts. You can do this. You can do this. Data scorecards. What's the 1 scorecard I should be looking at this week? What's the 1 scorecard I commit to having a way to track it? For a real estate investor, it could be offers submitted. It could be cold calls if you're cold calling. It could be if you're actually supposed to be doing acquisitions, it could be acquisitions, right? It could be if you're aggressively taking an acquisition every month. There you go. Like for Ron and I, we set the goal of 1 deal per month. We just want to close 1 deal per month. And that's a pretty stable amount for us on the flip side. We're going to be happy with that. For other investors, that's slow. It's not doing much. For us, it's something we know we can do, and we may up it later, but for now, it's fine. So scorecard, have I hit it? Have I put an offer in? Because for us, putting offers in is not enough. It's got to be accepted offers. But for wherever you're at, put stuff out there. And I would strongly suggest if you're a real estate agent, if you're a wholesaler, if you're an investor, contracts count. I don't count how many offers I submit. I don't give a shit. I know that in order to get contracts, I got to put offers in. It's just part of my game. But when we brought you through the mentorship, who was told you got to put offers in this week? Hence the camera for like, track it. Baby steps. These are baby steps. Like, track your offers, get your offers in, track them. But once you get to the game, I don't give a shit about offers in. I'm offers accepted, right? So if like it may have to change, right? The market has changed. The situation has changed. My relationships have changed. I may have to step up how many offers submitted in a week to get an offer accepted. Does that make sense? We commit to change. We commit to adjusting. Okay, manage. Excellent. Scorecards, manageable. Now, write down one issue. You don't have to pick them all, but today is the mastermind. So if you're in the mastermind, we'll be there at 12 o'clock today. Write down right now your one big issue, the big issue that's stopping you in your business, the big thing that's slowing you down, whatever it is. Write it down, and we will, if you're in the mastermind, we will talk about it at 12 o'clock. We're going to go deep into your particular issue, just like we do every month. So write it down. We want you to be clear. And then process. What is the one thing that if you documented it, it would be documented? Not the one thing you could hand off to somebody else, because many of you are not in that position yet, although getting close. But what is the one thing that you could document right now that would be easy to document so you wouldn't have to document it again? For me, I'm literally documenting the 52 weeks of wealth so that somebody else can teach this in the future, so that other coaches and communities can teach this in their areas. So yes, I will continue to do these live trainings for a time until I find something bigger and badder that I want to work on. But this is super scalable. But I want community leaders, I want our 100 millionaires to be out there teaching this course. And so I'm documenting it now, documenting the process, documenting the steps. After this all gets transcribed, it gets broken down. It's going to be in a book called The 52 Wealth Principles. Building a book, documenting, so that this can be used by other people. Hands to the camera if you recognize there's a process that you're doing right now in your business that should be documented. Absolutely. So commit to documenting something this week. Just one thing, doesn't have to be big. Just make sure it's important, but also something you can document this week. And then traction, rocks and meetings. Commit to having a meeting a week with a player, meeting a week with somebody who's moving you forward. I know that many of you are going to be at the 100 Millionaire Summit in October. Give yourselves a round of applause. Hands to the camera if you already have booked your tickets, already have booked the flights, the hotel. Excellent, excellent. So the 100 Millionaire Summit in October, if you haven't registered, is going to be the meeting, right? Of the big rocks, this is the rock. If there's a rock that's a boulder, that is the foundation to all of your other rocks, this is the one to be at, because the people in the room are going to be who you're working with, whose meetings you're the people you're having meetings with the rest of the year. So having meetings with people who are on your team, having meetings with your business partners, with your money, with your lenders, with your wholesalers, with your contractors, your attorney, the people who are doing the work for you. We call it your dirty dozen. Having those conversations is how you're going to make money the rest of the year. So you want to make sure that you know who to contact. You got to make sure you're working with the right people. They have to be moral, ethical, do things legally. And Dorina,
I put it in my
drop
car.
the link in the chat? Dorina, are you able to drop the link to the chat for the event? I'm sorry. It's probably there already. No, I don't see it. All right. So there it is. Go to ibuildmillionaires.com/summit. If you haven't already registered, this is your chance to be at the 100 Millionaire Summit. We're going to be building the business plan. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about time management. We're going to be talking about getting your vision, getting clarity. And we are going to put together a $1 million business plan, $1 million business plan for you in your specific business, preferably something that you're good at and that you like. Hands to the camera if you're committed to doing something that you enjoy. Excellent. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you're committed to doing something that makes $1 million. We're not building those small, shitty business plans. That's right. No weak little, oh, I want to make 100. Look, shit, we're going to get you there. If you haven't made 100 yet, that's guaranteed if you build $1 million business plan. Hand scan, if that makes sense. The math makes sense, right? Yes. Yes. Don't be afraid of it. I promise the money won't bite. Money won't bite. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. It's been a powerful week. You got an even more powerful week ahead. Let's open it up to the coaches. Hold on, coaches. Hold on. Let me record this because you guys put out some amazing content. Dr. Terry Wager, you are up.
We're talking about traction. We're talking about being able to build your business. And the funny thing is traction talks about meetings, but meetings are one of the biggest, most important things, because if you are not on the same wavelength as everybody else in your company, you're going to have a problem. If you're not on the same wavelength as the person that you're either buying from or selling to, you're going to have a big problem with communication. Communication is key, and meetings is where that starts. And so when we're talking about meetings, the meetings have an agenda. It's clarity. Every meeting you have is all about clarity and understanding what each person is going to be doing to move towards the mission, to fulfill the vision. And so it all makes sense when you start really looking at it with intention. Too many people are not paying attention to their intention, and so they're not moving forward the way they want to. And so when we're working with people at Generator, that's what we really get clear on, is what exactly we're doing. And it takes a time of assessing and being able to watch what's happening, watch what's not working, and then get in there and get clear on where we want to go, how we want to go, when we want to go, at what speed we want to go. Because some people like to go fast. Some people like to go a little slower. Some people are looking for lifestyle. Fast. People are looking for lifestyle. Some people are looking for empire. And so when we get clear on what we're looking at and looking for,
both.
then
I want both empire and and lifestyle.
I want the empire lifestyle. Yeah. And so that's really what it's all about. And you know, Traction is a great book that really starts moving you towards those different pieces. But the biggest thing that I see people do is they get bored and they don't understand what meetings are going to do for you. So if you're not having meetings in your company, if you have a company, that's a problem. If you're not having meetings with your team, that's a problem. If you want to solve those problems, talk to me. We can help you out.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. My favorite part of these Saturdays are the feedback from the coaches. Each one of these millionaires, these are my best friends. These are where some of my rocks are. My rock meetings include these guys. And we're meeting weekly now as the summit comes up. As we get closer to this event, I'm meeting weekly. Sometimes I'm meeting twice or three times a week with these champions. And I'm having a blast. I love this company, like this training company, this marketing company, for finding us more deals and building more entrepreneurs. Our impact company, like the one that we built because it was fun for us, that we really wanted to do to give back, is literally the most fun. Like, holy shit. Like we're having a party. In fact, Doug McGurk, you were on the call yesterday with us for the lighting and the sound and the organization of the next 3 days at the summit. What is your take on Traction? You're up next.
Thank you. Well, of course, what you've shared so far, always brilliant. Terry, brilliant. And the team, the mission, vision, and values that Terry was talking about, he spoke about, this is both personal and professional. So we want to also mind who we're surrounding ourselves with on all levels, because, you know, all boats rise and fall with the tide. So, Walter, to your point, like, you know, we're all like best of friends because we're combining the two. But one of the distinctions that I made, and I've shared this multiple times long ago, is the decision of who my team is, like who I hang out with, and to be sure that, you know, we're hanging out with people that challenge us to greatness, that are holding us to a higher standard. We pick up how they execute, how they think, and we get supported. And then the other thing, you know, regarding team is getting out there and meeting new people, being part of a community. Because, like, you know, right now I'm in the middle of a flip. I got a text from a guy that I met at a networking event like a year ago. And we just hit it off. And he's like, hey, you know, I just thought about you. I got this, you know, are you interested in this one? I was like, yeah. But like what happens is when we immerse ourselves in the environment with the powerful people, with the people who are taking action, getting results, then we can get on that bullet train, right? So it's more than just a metaphor or a meta five. It is actually, you know, a lifestyle choice to be in an environment that supports you in every way. And so, yeah, brilliant. I mean, team is by far one of the most important parts of all of this because it enhances our communication. It holds us to a higher standard. And it like, talk about getting into the other than conscious. The best way to hypnotize yourself is hang around with people who they're getting results that they're normal is what you and I aspire to. And that is some badass hypnosis.
You know, let's give Doug a round of applause. That powerful tip. If you want to get rich, create a powerful team around you. It's all about getting traction and getting more. And Doug, we'll be talking a lot about that at the summit. We're going to be going deep into the mindset. We're going to give you some skills. And then what we'll be offering at the summit is Masters of Influence, Mission to Millions, Generator Business School, and so much more. It's going to be a powerful event for everybody, and there'll be a massive discount because, you know, you're my community. I care about you guys, and I negotiated hard with the coaches, and you can ask the coaches what our initial package was, and you'll see, I'll talk about it on that day, but compared to what it is, but they're still delivering everything. It's because you've got to care about the people. You've got to want more for your clients. Who here knows that at some point they have not been as ethical towards their clients? Like when I say ethical, I mean like loving the shit out of their clients as if they were family. Who knows that people have been like that? You know, maybe it wasn't you guys, but that exists. All right. When you fall in love with your clients and you want their success so bad, you'll do whatever it takes. I'm telling you, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, seeing that you're going to get 2 hours of sleep and saying, yeah, but this project will get done. And this will make a system for my clients. It's going to serve my people. You just stay up and you just do it. And then you realize you didn't get 2 hours of sleep because it took longer than you thought. Hands to the camera if you've had those nights. If you've been in the grind, if you've been in that, yes, we do it. We do the hard work. It's part of the game. But what happens is that you have something that for the rest of your life, an asset has been built. These books didn't happen overnight. I mean, they did happen overnights over 6 months and asked Dorina. She didn't see me for 3 months when I started this book. I went insane mode, right? This thing is almost 300 pages. This is the solution if you haven't found the rental properties you're looking for right now, the wholesale deals that you're looking for right now. And it was something that the community asked for. Are you willing to do what it takes to get your people to the next level? Think about your client. Each one of you, think about your client right now and fill your heart with a passion, fill your heart with a desire to move them forward, to get them more. Maybe there's more you could do in your company. Maybe there's assets you could build. Maybe there's things that you could do that would improve the lives of your client. And maybe there's room for you to do them. Maybe you are the person. Maybe you just need a partner, maybe an affiliate relationship, right? I recognize that as great a coach as I am, I'm not scalable. At this group session I am, but in the one-on-one stuff, I couldn't do it anymore. And so I brought on coaches. I brought on team members who are unique, specialized, better at certain things than I was. There's somebody out there for your business, for you right now, like our contractors, our project managers, our property managers, our plumbers, our electricians, all these guys, they're specialists. I should be paying them. I'm making more anyway. I got extra on top. Think about it as we're going through the rest of this. Mike Shine, do you mind if I let Dorina go next?
Not at all, but you tricked me. That was tricky.
I know you're so generous. You are, Mike. Now you're becoming like my memory that Dorina is up next. That's kind of you're my cue.
Feel
Thank
blessed.
you so much. Thank you, Mike Shine. Yeah, so the lesson today is so important because there are many aspects of not only visualizing, not only creating a path for yourself, but knowing how to engage others to be on the same page with you. And what I've learned so far is documenting is something I put on the back burner, right? In the past, like, yeah, sure, I'll explain when find someone to help me out with the project, or next year I know I'm going to be hiring virtual assistant. And what happens when we get to the point, like, I don't remember stuff that I've done myself last year, 2 months ago. So my basic way is really documenting everything you do when you are working on a project, when you are doing something yourself. And then when you are ready to hire or surround yourself with a volunteer or intern partner, it's going to be laid down for them. Like, for example, I am working on 100 Millionaires, and it's our first annual event. So I'm going through all videographers that I can talk to, lighting people, photographers, production companies. All of that is happening. And now I'm narrowing down the process to the key. So next year, when I hire an assistant, they can see the specific list. They can see who to call to, what merchandise company to call to, and who is not good, who's good. And that's the key. And in the past, I failed to document. And hey, don't do what I did. So whatever you're working on, at some point, you're going to pass it on to your team. And then save yourself some time by really recording, even if you think it's not important. Just put it in a document, put it in Evernote. This is what I've done. This is how the best practices I found out by going through many options. Now this is the best one, and this is the one that's going on the doc. And now you have a job description and the process and the system. So that's my biggest takeaway. Don't underestimate of your actions and what you're doing. If you know, one day you will delegate that.
Delegate in the future, build your process now. Let's give Doreen a round of applause. I love that she's so clear on this one, because we are doing it actively in our business. Traction never stops, right? Building your team never stops. This is something you do continuously. We're constantly improving, constantly building systems, constantly processes. I want you to do the same thing. Ron and I have never run this many flips before. In the past, we were like, we'll do 3 or 4. Now we're pushing to 10. Next year, we'll probably push to 20 or 40. The idea is we're building new systems because we see an opportunity. I want you to see this opportunity, guys and gals. We're buying more rental property because we see the opportunity. I want you to see the opportunity. I want you to see that over the next 2 to 4 years, and I'll talk more about this at the summit, there is a massive opportunity to expand and grow your business and make a killing, to build businesses and partner with people. We may partner with a property manager or a contractor very soon and build out a project management, property management, contracting business, because we see everybody in the community. Hands to the camera if you're using a contractor right now. Yep. We see everybody in the community going down this path of needing this service. And we're saying, why wouldn't we get a cut of that? I know we could do it morally, ethically, legally better than other people, probably make it more affordable and better quality. We should be doing this, right? But you can't do everything at once. First, do what you're doing today and improve it, automate it, scale it, and then review. And we'll bring on a partner. Ron and I will not be involved in that business other than to market it, which is all we do. We are marketers. We fill the funnel for people. Does that make sense? Know your role, play your role, and stay in your lane. Next up, the great Michael Shine, keeper of the books, closing attorney, the closer, the holistic attorney.
Yes, so as most of you know, I'm focused on partnerships. Sort of Walter directed me in that direction because he pointed out that a lot of my success is because I've gotten great partners, and I think that that's just a smaller portion of get a great team around you. So in every instance that I go out, I get someone who has some skill or ability that I don't have or don't have time to do. For me, getting that great team can be a partnership. It's a great place to start, and that's all I've been doing, and it really allows you to scale up. So from a point of view of accelerating your success, getting partners, getting a team together is key, because you only have 24 hours in a day. And if you have 10 partners, you've just 10x that amount of time. So yeah, that's what I got for you today. Thank you.
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. By the way, the partnership book is coming out. We do have Michael talking about how to find the right partners, how to avoid the wrong partners, how to choose a partner, and the pitfalls in, during, and along the way as you go through partnerships. Hands to the camera if you know that's a reason alone to be at the 100 Millionaire Summit. Learning how to identify the right partners and prevent the loss of massive amounts of money, time, and stress. I was talking to one of my partners while I was over in Orlando at the Russell Brunson ClickFunnels event. And he said to me, he's like, my first 2 businesses, I lost to bad partnerships. Mine too. I happen to be married to her. So make sure that you are paying attention when Mike is talking about partnerships at the event. Make sure, and we're going to talk about partnerships quite a bit. It's a lot of day 2 because that's how you scale your business. That's how you get to the next level. The skill sets we're going to be giving to you are going to be necessary to get to that $1 million mark there or beyond. They are going to be what you need, not what you want. You may not like some of the stuff we tell you. Hands to the camera if you're still going to go, no matter what. You're still committed, even if you might not like some of the stuff we say, because we will only deliver the truth. Remember, our goal is 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Not always to say funny things or make you smile, even if that does happen as a side effect. Awesome. Mitch Jaworski, you're up next.
What's up, my friend?
Actually, should we let Ryan McDermott go first? I think he might have soccer games these days.
The weather's still
Soccer
good
is back
enough
in the
for it.
season.
It's getting cold up north.
Go ahead. I'm good.
All right. I see he's in his living room, in his kids' room that he took over.
Wealth principles come and go, but soccer games are forever. I wanted to circle back to what you and Terry touched on at the beginning when we talked about meetings, because when you guys were laying out the information and the purpose, of a meeting, that's exactly what there was. There was purpose. There was meeting with a purpose, because anyone that's worked in like a corporate job knows that meetings can be a big waste of time because you just have meetings to have meetings for some reason in corporate America. So meetings with a purpose and impactful meetings, like you don't need to have a meeting every single day. You need to have meetings with impact and purpose for all the reasons you guys listed, which I'm not even going to review because we'll be here for another 10 minutes. So I just wanted to kind of drill that home. And then as far as, the team building thing, me, my best thing is to use myself as an example. And that is, don't do what I did. Like I was Mr. Independent, one-man wrecking crew. And I found success in the same way the other coaches did. It just took me longer because I was a one-man wrecking crew. And I started partnering and networking in just the last 3 or 4 years. And that leveled everything up so much. Like I've gotten more done probably in the last 3 years than I did in the 7 years prior to that. So basically a 10-year journey, I probably could have cut into that 3 to 5 years that Walter always speaks about. So leverage those partnerships. And not only that, leverage a team. And you do that by, just as Darina said, documenting your processes so you can hand it off, especially like the more mundane stuff. Like there's still, I did the exercise with everyone else. And I'm like looking at some items and I'm like, why am I still doing those? Like there's still things on the list, even with chopping that down over the last few years. So just, focus on essentially what ended up being those 3 things, and you'll level up that much faster. And that's, I think, everyone's goal, right? Shorten the curve. So shorten the curve.
Shorten the curve.
Shorten the curve. Shorten that curve up, the timeline. So that's my take.
Speed to action, speed to results. I love it. Mitch, you can't end it without a rap quote.
I don't think I have a rap quote for you. I mean, actually, you know what? I do. I've used it once before, but it'll actually drill home the point of, replicating what you guys are talking about, like the processes that you've used, Terry used, Mike's used, everybody. because like Nas once said, you know, nothing's new under the sun. It's all been done. It's not how you do it, it's how it's done. So take the damn blueprint and do the damn thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Let's give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. This is not about, by the way, I am lazy. I want results yesterday. I don't want to put effort in. That's why I pay so much for coaches. Now I'm very targeted with my coaches. I choose the right people, and I don't look at the price, right? When I take a coach on and they tell me a price, I'm like, fuck, every time. I always go for that level of coach for myself. I'm like, ah, shit. But I chose a coach that I knew was something that I wanted. I wanted it bad enough. And I've gone to some coaches and be like, okay, I don't need coaching on that. I literally need a YouTube video on that. Like the other day was how to, what are the best times for TikTok? I went and I found out, right? That was a YouTube video. I didn't need a coach to figure out like what I should be posting on TikTok. But what I did need was a coach to have that conversation of how to put myself into the state of mind of my client on TikTok. That was necessary. How to phrase and word my sentences in a shorter period of time so it'd be more effective. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. It's a little bit different. It's more on the habit stuff. It's more on the understanding stuff that I take coaches on. And that's when I'm having a hard time grasping something. That's when I'll take on a coach. The communication thing, like when I say I have spent more money on learning how to communicate than on any other particular thing of any other style of coaching that I have taken. It is communication with people that is over and over giving me my reward over and over. These meetings are no joke. These meetings are the most valuable part of your week. It's the most valuable part of your day. Yesterday, we had a powerful meeting. Who was on the call yesterday? It was Terry, Doug, Darina, Ron, and our team of people who are going to be running the event for us. In that meeting, in about an hour and a half, we came up with everything, all the problems. We identified all the issues. We identified the vision. We identified the process. We identified what was getting documented. And we put everything out there. I have things to go document still, by the way. But we identified next week we're going to review, and each one of us has freaking homework, like a stack of homework. Does that make sense? When you see the event, when you see us at the summit, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say rocks. I will introduce you to the people that were the rocks, the people who got it done. Where is Ryan McDermott? There he is. Ryan McDermott, one of our powerful rocks, a boulder to our society. Let's give it up for the great Ryan McDermott, our financial planner. Oh, I came up with a great name for the other day. Wealth builder, legacy wealth builder. Let's give it up.
Man, boulder to our society. That's a lot of, I feel like the boulder's on my back now. I don't even know if I can handle this. I want to just talk a little. Walter's been kind of peppering in messages about the summit. And what else? I'm a very simple person. Most of you know me. I'm a high D. Simple messages are what I buy into. And when I first met Walter, he was dancing around stage, doing all kinds of things. And I was really, what brought me into Walter was he said, if you could buy a property at a 20% discount and then improve it and get another 20% that way, then you instantly have 40% equity. And that is how I kind of became involved with a lot of him and making, building a relationship with him and meeting all of you. What I will say about this offer that he is talking about at the summit is he's gone further than the 20%, a lot further. And believe me and the other coaches are on the other side of that negotiating table. And he is living what he says, not just in his real estate, but in all of this. So you should be very excited about it. As far as the lesson goes, actually the first, when Mike talked about labeling all the positions, like if you're not in a position where you can hire people yet. I've been there. It was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Somebody who had read the book Traction was giving a little talk on it and said to do exactly that. Like I'm looking over at another screen. My email, my email inbox, I've got a folder for assistant. I've got a folder for accounting, a folder for legal, a folder for marketing. And it was start organizing so that, build your way up so you can start to hire people. And in that way, you'd be able to kind of pass things off a lot easier. And what Dorena said, I wish I knew 4 or 5 years ago, documenting it makes it even easier. And that's kind of the stage I'm at now. That's all being reinforced with my work with Terry as he kind of helps me do that. And anyway, yeah, great lesson. Excited for the summit. Thank you.
Let's give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. Ryan McDermott is an interesting story. Who would like to hear it before we open up to questions? And we are going to open up to questions. And for anybody in the community who's been through the mentorship, we're going to ask for testimonials. Actually, not about the mentorship. I want to ask for testimonials of why you're going to the summit. I want to see what is your motivating factor. Just like Ryan shared with us, he didn't care about hey, we're going to get you rich. Hey, we're going to do less work. Hey, we're going to have fun making buying real estate. He cared that I was teaching how to get a 20% discount on the purchase. He was numbers focused. He cared that I was going to teach how to get that additional 20% through the right renovations, not through the wrong ones, because a lot of people go and fix the heating, plumbing, electrical. That doesn't fit. That doesn't raise the value of your property. You got to go and make the cosmetics feel better. You got to make the property feel better. And that's where, boom, massive growth, right? You go in, floors, carpet, paint, kitchen, bathroom, man, they love it. But you change a furnace, they don't know the difference. It's real estate for you. So, that was what moved Ryan. Here's the story I want to tell. It's funny because I remember that day. I remember I had a room of 78 people in front of me, all real estate investors who were eager to learn. The whole room was moving with me. They were feeling the energy. They were enjoying it. And there was one guy sitting in the room who was sitting there like this, with his arms folded, who I couldn't fucking win over. And for anybody who knows me, I have a hard time doing video if there's nobody in front of me. I have a hard time speaking if there's nobody in front of me. I live off of the room, the energy of the room. Are they getting it or are they not? And so when Ryan was there not getting any kind of energy, anything, I was just like, I'll keep digging. And I just kept throwing things out, whatever I had inside, until I saw that hit, and then I stayed there. As soon as I saw it hit, I was like, boom, I got him. And Ryan and I have become best friends ever since, and we work together, and we're helping you guys as a community. Let's give it up for Ryan McDermott. I'll never forget that day. One of the most challenging moments I've ever had on stage was with Ryan McDermott.
Hey, in fairness to me, I hadn't eaten dinner before the event. I was starving. I was in a bad mood, but you did a great job, Walter. Thank you.
Much appreciated. So before the 100 Millionaire Summit, do yourselves a favor. Do me a favor. Come full. Eat your food beforehand. Stay hydrated. Make sure if you have a headache or it's cold, you got a sweater or Tylenol. Take care of yourselves so that I'm not up there thinking, what else do they need? What else do they need? Give yourselves a round of applause for a powerful week. Again, we got another powerful week ahead coming up. I want to open it up to anybody who's been in the program or who is committed to going to the summit. If you're going to the summit, this is an opportunity for you to share why you're going with us, and go. Never start with Kim Harvey because she's easy. She already knows why she's going. Let's give it up for Kim Harvey. Kim Possible in the house.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. So we signed up to go almost immediately. I probably was like the fifth or sixth person, Dorena, because I went to the Mission for Millions, and it was just an amazing experience. And I think the best part of the Mission to Millions was literally getting to know everybody and live it with everybody for like a week. Like we literally morning, noon, and night, meals, everything. And it was awesome just to get up and say good morning and good night and give everybody hugs and do the hot tub, meetings. And I think it was just invaluable, although I didn't do the fire thing down my throat. But other than that, I did everything else, walking across glass and all the other challenges that we took. But I think for me, it was the homespun, heartfelt learning. And it's like being a sponge with everybody. And I think we all had that synergy. Like I said in my video, it was like an amazing recipe, and we all had different ingredients to throw in. And when we all mixed it up, it was just a great recipe, and it was super fun. I know after being with the mentorship for over 1.5 years for me, my net worth has blown up. My businesses have blown up. I'm in, as I said in the chat earlier, I have big properties right now. We've got like almost $5 million under agreement, and it's freaking me out right now. And I'm just taking action and making it happen. And, I'm blessed and fortunate to have the coaches, and, we have weekly meetings with many of you. And if I don't have the answers, you guys help us out and figure it out. And we're just an amazing community, and it's very powerful, but you have to stay focused, disciplined, and have that clarity. Get on the bullet train and take action. And that's all I have to say. So I'm excited for the summit. I'm looking forward to giving everybody big hugs and not air hugs. And just looking forward to quality time with everybody. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to blow it up, and excited.
Let's give Kim Harvey a round of applause. That's my love language, by the way. Quality time is my love language. So I'm looking forward to spending quality time with you guys over 3 days at this event. Impactful, doing, I'm high D, right? Building a business, being effective, getting it done, but also having fun. Day 2 is going to be a party. Unlike any other networking event you have ever been to before. Once the lights go down, man, it's nuts. You will be, here's my promise to you. You will make more connections in one night than you've ever made in your entire life. There'll be deeper connections than you have ever made in your entire life. And they'll be the right connections that you will have relationships with for your entire life. That is what this event is all about. Next, what is a solution you are looking to solve at the 100 Millionaire Summit? What is a problem you're looking to solve, a solution you're looking for going to this event? Unmute your mic and share. First unmute wins. Wins a bracelet? Wristband, the powerful wristband. They can't be called bracelets.
I'll go. I throw it in the bracelet. I'll put myself in. So one of the things I'm looking forward to is, you were mentioning it this morning, the million business plan. And it's funny because Andrew and I were just talking about this, and I feel like I need to know the exact steps and business plan on how we're going to get to the million, because that's our goal, and we're striving for that. So I'm for me, I need to see step by step how I'm going to get there. So putting that together and then committing and signing it, and every day putting my making that commitment is just super powerful. And I feel like having that clarity around it will just push us forward even more to achieve it. So I'm looking forward to that portion of the summit. Also just networking. It's been a while since I seen you live. Super excited. You always over deliver. When it comes to live, you have that high energy. Plus, you work with great people. So I'm excited to meet the new people in the community face to face, and, get to interact with them. So super excited to see everyone there.
Let's give Amy McMurray a round of applause. It is true. Amy and Andrew are the OGs. They were there like Mike Shine in the beginning when we were training in Fall River, teaching people live events. And I will tell you, I'm great over Zoom. I'm fantastic in person. What I can do to move you forward in person is so cool. The energy you will feel in the room that I'm sending out is so intense. It's so real. And the information, the knowledge, I read people, right? That's my gift. It's my one thing. That's what God gave me, is I can read and see what's going on. And then I can move, I can adjust, I can make those connections. Via Zoom, I have learned the skill of all screens in front of me, nice and tight, so I can see all your faces and see what's going on. You'll see my eyes moving a lot because I'm looking at you. I'm looking for responses. I'm looking for results. I'm looking to see if we're moving you forward. At the event, I can feel it. It's different. Live, I can feel the energy in the room. I can sense what's going on. I can see if we're moving. I can sense if you need me to slow down, or if we can go deeper into the subject. And if everybody is on board, and if one person's not, I can clean it up really quickly. because I can see it. It's just a quick little, I just say one or two things. Does that make sense? There is no getting away from live. If you want impact, you've got to be in person. If you want change, you've got to be there. This is just like selling. Look, you can cold call, you can have conversations over the phone and try to close a deal over the phone. But all the salespeople I know get in front of that person and they close them. They have a deep relationship. They figure out what they want. And the easiest way to do that is in person. Hands to the camera, if you commit to doing more in-person activities as it becomes safer, doing it safely. Obviously, I don't want to be ignorant to what's going on with COVID. I've personally had COVID. You will survive. Positive mental attitude. We're gonna put all those vibes out there. Anybody in our community gets COVID, you're instantly healed. It gets better after, it gets pretty bad. And coaches who've had it understand it's real. It's not a joke, but you can meet people. You can get face-to-face. You can connect and still build your business more impactfully. Do it the right way. That's it. Just follow the rules. What else? What is another reason for you to be going to the 100 Millionaire Summit in September? What is one thing you want or you're excited about that we've told you is going to happen?
I'm excited to go in October.
October. Thank you, Mitch. There's another thing for all of our people who are in the New England. Winter is coming, so it will be nice and warm. Who's had a cold night already in New England? Hands to the camera if you've already noticed it's getting a little chilly outside. All right. Here in Florida, we've identified that it's getting livable outside. Now we go outside, feels like summer. Before it felt like some sort of crazy microwave that we were in, this humidity smog machine, not smog, but just freaking thick, like a swamp. But this week has been just, I want to go outside all the time. I'm back to feeling good out there. Doreena's riding horses, not sweating. She's all right. Okay. One thing, or you could drop it in the chat. Actually, what is the one thing in your business right now that if you could solve it, would make your business, your life more impactful, would double or get more cash flow? And I'm polling the room because I want to know about you. I want to know what we can do to serve. Does that make sense? So everybody, no matter what, if you think your business is perfect and you're crushing it, drop something, pick something. By the way, let's give Halim a round of applause for rocking the cup and the shirt. He is an alchemist. For everybody who's got the shirts on, for everybody who's rocking the brand, who's getting conversations started, I see you. There it is. Mission to Millions, 100 Millionaires, names on deeds. I am an alchemist. Awesome. These shirts are our mission. This is who you are. It's what you do. You're on a mission to millions, putting names on deeds. You're building 100 millionaires. By the way, you build 100 millionaires, you will become more than a millionaire. I assure you. I don't know that I've built 100 yet, but I'm damn freaking close. For over the last decade of serving people, I am damn close. And I know people who have built 100 millionaires, and they are multi-millionaires. A gentleman who's been coaching for the last 6 years, I met out in Orlando this week at the ClickFunnels event. And he told me, it's like, I get 600 people in my room. I've coached over 3,000 people. And I said, dude, he thought my shirt said 1,000 millionaires. He said it's a big goal. And then when I was like, no, it says 100. And he said, oh, dude, I've done that. And I was like, you and I are best friends from now on. We're going to hang. Like, you and I are just going to talk. We're going to hang. And we did. I learned some. I met his wife. Me and Dorina connected with him. Mike Gabriel's out there connecting with him right now. Like, when you find somebody who's done what you want, I teach this all the time, but I'm with it. I'm still doing it. You will be my best friend. He doesn't fucking know it yet. Right. But in my head, I know it. Does that make sense? Right. He's already done what I want to do, and I want to do what he's done. And I want to learn how to do it bigger. And I think he wants to go and do it bigger. So we'll be able to grow together. As he's growing, I'll be able to follow that path. The principles work. Drop it in the chat. What is the one thing stopping you from getting to the next level? What is that one thing you're looking for? That one thing that could get you there? Ryan McDermott says he needs a mug. I agree with you, Ryan. You put this on your desk and shit starts happening. It's unstoppable. You just look and you're like, my goal, 100 millionaires. I got to get back to it.
I'm ordering it under the screen right now. I'm not paying attention. Got to take care of business.
That's right. Excellent. Go to Barcelona Academy of Art. So we'll Trust me, that's very easy. That's just a tuition or a relationship. We'll get that done. So some people's business plan may be $1 million business plan that involves a lot of vacations, trips, and traveling. Awesome. Excellent. Let's see. Letting go of control. Yes, absolutely. Leadership, management of processes, giving away some of that. Leveling up my financial blueprint. Absolutely. We will be going through that. I knew that was the first problem everybody had. Do you know why you're not making more? You don't want more. Done. Plain and simple. You don't make it more because you don't have a reason to go. The burning desire. Or there's some fear around it, or there's some scarcity around it. We're going to be tackling the financial blueprint. Absolutely. It's necessary. We couldn't do an event that is about making $1 million without first handling the mindset. Hands to the camera if you know that's the truth. We got to open up, get it clear, open our hearts, our minds to make the million, and then we'll go with the tactical steps. We put that in there. We know. Awesome. Now, my friends, Mike, Ryan, you're going to play soccer now, bro? Awesome. Any more that you can give us? Create a business plan. I love it, Desiree. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Understanding human psychology and leadership skill development. Absolutely. You want to become a millionaire, multi-millionaire. It's going to take leadership. It's going to take understanding people. That you need neuro-linguistic programming for yourself to stay confident in weird conversations where silence is the only process. And then you also need a little bit of confidence to say the things that are necessary in the moment where conflict is necessary, because you cannot get out of it. Sometimes conflict is required in order to get to the next side. But it always works out. I promise you, every negotiation, look, I'm still here. Shit, nobody's ever killed me. Right? I'm still here. After all the negotiations I've done, conflict and silence are how we get through them. And being able to hold your energy right in the right state energy all the way through negotiation. Leadership, being able to share the culture, get somebody else to see your vision and be on path with doing it for you, with you, because they love what you're doing. Hands to the camera if you feel the 100 Millionaires mission, if you can feel it in your bones that this is something you could do, that this is something that'd be right to do, that this is something that you're on board with. Hell yeah, we're all going to partner up on this. We are partnered on this. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I was an accountant. You remember my story. You've read the Broke to the $250,000. I was living in a closet, not trusting anybody, being scared. And I got to this point where I built this, right? Like Tony Robbins says, he built him like I built me. You're building you right now. There's a lot of really good ones on here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing your time, for your motivation. You wrote down on a piece of paper activities to do this week. Hands to the camera if you are committed to doing them. Yes, it's been a powerful week yet, even more powerful week ahead. If you haven't registered for the 100 Millionaires Summit, do it now. Take action. Seats are filling up. We do have a max capacity in the room. We have been told that we cannot go over this number. And so make sure that you register now. Seats are running out and there is no standing allowed. So give yourselves a round of applause for showing up. Successful people show up, successful people take action, and successful people commit and stay on track towards their goals. They get traction every single day. Focus on the rocks and have the right meetings this week. Cheers to your success. Remember, the point is not to work. It's to generate income. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
The best.
See that? It's just a string of all the things I say all the time. Bam, bam, bam,
The
bam.
best.
Later, guys. Enjoy your weekend.